Hi beauties, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm trying out the Surreal Skin Foundation, and it's by Makeup by Mario. I'm going to give you guys a full day wear test, so if you'd like to find out more, then just keep watching. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me for today's video. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. That way you won't miss any of my uploads. So guys, how was your holiday? I'm one of these people that doesn't want to let Christmas go. Like, I just hang on for dear life. Hence the snowman mug. However, since it's a snowman, I can use this all winter. My hands are feeling a little dry. I'm loving this Josie MaranArgan Infinity Intensive Cream Oil. And this is one that can actually be used on your face as well. So since I know I'm going to be applying makeup and touching my face, I'm going to use this on my hands so that I'm not adding anything to my face that I shouldn't be adding. So this is perfect. So the first thing I'm going to apply to my face is from TULA. It's a probiotic superfoods sunscreen that I've really been loving. I actually have somewhere to go. I'm going to get my nails done, so they're going to look different when I come back for the second part of this video. Now notice that this is a kind of hydrating sunscreen, so I don't apply other moisturizers for the most part. Whenever I use this one, I just apply the sunscreen. And even though I'm a combination skinned person, like I'm normal most everywhere and oily in my T-zone, sometimes I can be dry under my eyes, but I have combo skin. I still really like that sunscreen, even though it adds this glow. I think it's beautiful. Love it. This foundation comes in 30 shades. This is a breathable, luminous foundation that effortlessly builds and blends to illuminate the complexion with customizable, long-wearing coverage. This foundation reveals skin's natural luminosity. It features moisture grip technology and hydrates skin and glides on easily for customizable coverage. Layer it on or shear it out. The buildable formula works harmoniously with powders or creams while staying true to its original color. The shade that I have picked up is 18W. What I do like about the package here is it has a see-through window. So when you're in store, you don't have to open up every box if the tester's not available. You can actually see the color of the foundation. The box is a sleek matte black. I saw it drop on Sephora's website because I have some gift cards that I am trying to spend, and I was on the website and saw that this dropped. I decided to go in store to get a shade match. These are supposed to be flexible shades. So I tried the neutral shade. It was a little light, but it worked. I tried this shade. It worked. And then the shade after this shade also worked, but it was a little deeper. So I decided to just go in the middle because I also am able to wear warm shades some as well. Let's see how this looks. I have to say that when I tried it on in store, I really liked it when I got home. Like, it seemed to almost be self-setting. It doesn't claim to do that. Just for me doing a shade match on my skin, it set down really well even without a powder. So here we go. I'm just doing all my same things that I do, because if this doesn't work with all of my same processes, then it doesn't work. So that's my Fix Plus. I'm going to use the Jane Iredale primer. This is Smooth Affair. I'm putting it all over. There is no need for me to test it out without a primer because I'm always going to wear a primer. There are a few YouTubers who sometimes do these and will do like half and half. So maybe somebody else can show you that. But I'm just going to put primer all over. This smells so good. I love the smell of this. Okay, so we will do like half of our face with a sponge and then half with a brush. I have things kind of simple in here today as well because I just am using my ring light for lighting today. That was kind of one pump. 1.5 pumps, I guess, is what that looks like it is. Let me just put a little bit here. And I have a little bit of a friend here, so we're gonna see Now this covers a pimple because I have one coming. I'll take this beauty blender. Start here. I actually like this shade already. I thought it looked good in the store, but this was pretty good. I haven't had a pimple and I don't know when, and then when I want to film, here comes a pimple. So that's just a little bit of the pump that I had on my hand, and I feel like I need a little bit more, so I'm going to just take the rest. For the highlighted ingredients, it says grapeseed oil and vegetal squalene provide restoring moisturizing benefits. It also says perfecting powders, works with skin's natural texture for a smooth and enhanced finish. Some of the ingredient callouts say it's free of parabens, formaldehydes, mineral oil, and several other things. It's definitely luminous. I can definitely see the glow bouncing, of course, and I have a lot of glow on. I think this is very beautiful, and if you are a person who doesn't like to set your foundation with powder and you just kind of use a setting spray and go, and you like that glowy luminous appearance, then you'll love this. If you're a person like me, I like natural finish. I set with a powder. I think we're still gonna love this. I can picture, and I could be wrong, that a lot of this glow is gonna kind of peep through the powder. I just have a feeling. But we have definitely got medium coverage, and I'm gonna stop here for now. I do want to come back later and hit some of these places with hyperpigmentation, but I do struggle sometimes to cover this, and it's all good. It's all good. It doesn't have to all be covered. So let's go ahead and pump one more pump. We're just gonna start with this one pump. I'm gonna use this NYX. It says 37 on the brush, but this is like a foundation brush that I purchased recently and love this. And we're gonna use this to apply this. And I have a feeling that this pump will go further with the brush than it does with the sponge. And notice how, like, even though this is like slightly lighter in some ways than my skin, it pulls out the yellow that you can kind of see in my skin. So I like that. I really like when foundations do that. And I do have a ponytail back here. Just so you guys know. I have hair. Wow, it blends in very easily too. This is like super lightweight as well. Like, it just seems like a very skin-like foundation, and it's just gonna give you really pretty skin. Like, it just seems like my skin. I'm gonna take a little dot here just to sort of go over this side. And let's just stipple that over the place where I couldn't cover right away. That will help me see if this will build. And I always like more on my forehead because I seem to have a little darkness here. So this is about maybe 2¼ to 2½ pumps. 2½ pumps on my base, basically. Going back over it with the sponge too. Make sure everything's blended out. I like the coverage. It's like it disappeared. Just sort of showing you guys how seamless that blended in. Let me do some concealer here. I'm going to use a couple of concealers. Let's start with Lancôme. This is in 435. I'm going to use that to kind of cover the dark circles a little and just put on a small amount. But this is the Chantecaille Le Camouflage Stylo Anti-Fatigue Corrector Pen, and I think it is shade 5. This is really like an under eye pen, but I use it wherever I want to. You see how it just really adds this beautiful brightening. Oh, like that. For powder, I'm going to use my tried and true Huda Beauty Powder in Banana Bread. And this is kind of the color. I'm gonna turn the light down just a little bit to make sure I don't look too blown out. I feel like I was looking a little blown out there. This is what it looks like with powder on. And see how it still like looks very fresh and natural, but not like it was looking without powder. So if you're a person that doesn't like powder, my daughter doesn't always apply powder, for example. I don't know, she likes that dude look. So if you don't like powder, then yours is gonna look more like what it looked like before. It's a very radiant foundation for sure. The key for me is, will I look like a shiny, oily mess by the end of the day? So we will find out. But I'm gonna do everything I can to help it have good longevity, just because that's what I would normally do. I'm gonna go ahead and complete my makeup look, and I will be back in a moment, and then we'll start the wear test. And just so you know, right now it is 10:40. I guess I started maybe 20 minutes ago or something. You know, in the 10 o'clock hour is when we started, and now it's 10:40. Okay, so I'm gonna complete my look. I'll be right back in a second, and then we'll start the wear test. All right, guys, so I'm back. I've completed my look, and just really quickly, I'm gonna do a quick rundown so you guys know what's on my face. I did a very simple look. No big plans today. I have on the My Dream palette by Natasha Denona, just a few shades out of that palette. I used the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector in dark. So I have that on as my bronzer. It's not really a bronzer, but that's what I applied as the bronzer. I used my Pat McGrath Labs. It's like the Holiday Face palette. I have on this blush, which is, I think this is Nude Venus. I think that's the one I have on. I think that's what it is. And I did use a little bit of the highlighter, but I tried not to put too much. But I just had to put it on. Had to put on a little bit of highlighter. My mascara, I really love the Lancôme, this booster that helps because I'm not wearing lashes. I'm part of the Itty Bitty Lash Committee. And so I use this booster, and then I have on the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I'm wearing Lancôme Vintage Ruby on my lips with my Foxy Brown lip liner that's almost gone here. I added a little bit of the Merit Beauty lip oil in Au Natural, and then I topped it all with the Ravish Tom Ford lip gloss. This is kind of important for setting spray. I have on the Professional Super Setter. That's the setting spray that I used. For brows, I just have on the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil. So this is where we are, and I think it looks pretty good. You guys let me know what you think at this point in the makeup application. It is now 11:10, so I haven't had it on a complete hour, not even an hour, and this is what it looks like. I'm trying to see if it's settling in any lines. It doesn't look like it. I am 49 years old, just so you guys know my age. I don't really see any settling. It just looks like my skin. This is a very lightweight, natural skin-like foundation, in my opinion. It's not very heavy. It feels like I don't have anything on my face. The key is, how will it wear throughout an entire day? Because it does claim to be long wearing. So let's see how this looks at the end of the day. I will do a midday check-in after I've had this on for a few hours, and then I will come back at the end of the night and let you guys know how it wore. We're going to try to keep this on at least 8 hours. So I will see you guys in a moment. Okay, folks, it's now about 3:30 p.m. We started around 10:30, so I've had this on for 5 hours. I have been out, and it is a rainy day as well today, so I've gotten a little wet. I have had to be out in the rain. My oils are starting to come through a little bit in my T-zone, which is not unusual. However, the foundation is not breaking apart as far as the rest of my face. Like, it looks really good in the areas where I'm normal. I can see here, I don't know if you guys can see, like I had my glasses on, and a little bit I have like a little dent where the glasses rest. So I'm just gonna kind of try to get rid of those without adding powder. But that's all I've noticed as far as anything rubbing off is just from where I had my glasses on. I haven't touched up at all. I did eat like a little snack, and so I just reapplied Merit Au Natural and the Tom Ford Ravish. I just put that on. If this was a normal day and I wasn't doing a wear test, I would have blotted by now, at least probably one time. You wouldn't see this shine at all. But as far as overall like wear of the foundation, I think this is pretty good. I would definitely say that this is long wearing so far. So far, yes. It looks so like when you look over here, in the places where I'm normal and I'm not as oily like in my T-zone here, it just looks very skin-like. And so it's staying put. You do see some radiance, but doesn't look bad after 5 hours with no touching up. We're gonna keep this on a little longer. Gonna go 3 more hours and then I'll come back. We'll see how it held up throughout the entire day, and I will do a little bit of blotting so we see how it will perform if you blot. So I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm back for the final check-in. It is now 7:11. So it's been about 8.5 hours or so. We're moving into the 9-hour range since I applied this. It looks like my makeup is almost expired, but just watch. So here we go. Let's blot. I just have a tissue here. And just notice, like, most of the places, of course, where I see a lot of shine is where my concealer area is in my T-zone. Okay, so this is what it looks like after blotting, and I do have, there's a TV on right here if you see anything reflecting on my face. It's muted, but the television is on. This is what my tissue looks like. There's oils there, and some places is where it bumped up against my lips, where my lipstick rubbed off. So we did lose some foundation with that type of blotting, but it's not too bad. So now this is what it looks like with just blotting, but let's add a little bit of powder to see if we can make it look even fresher. I'm gonna use my Wayne Goss, the airbrush brush. And I will say too, the only place where it looks like maybe it wore off a little is my nose. I think maybe it wore off some, but we're gonna cover that up too. It's so skin-like, it's kind of hard to tell. Go over those brows a little. Okay, I put the smallest amount on, and I'm going to just take my Chikuhodo brush and just sort of like buff it in there with no additional product to make sure we cover it everywhere. Okay, that's with powder touch up. And I'm gonna, like, I feel like this is bright. I'm gonna turn it down some more. I just turned my lights down just a little bit to make sure that you could really see my face. It wasn't too blown out. That's what happens when you are turning the ring light on and off every time you stop filming. So anyway, so this is what it looks like after applying that small amount of powder. And overall, I think this looks really, really good after almost 9 hours of wear. The one thing that I see, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing, is like I have a smile line right here, a little wrinkle, more wrinkles down in this area that seem to be a little bit more pronounced. I will need to wear this again to see if that's what I'm really seeing, to see how it wears. My first impressions of this foundation are really, really good. The fact that it hasn't broken apart and it still looks skin-like, and I was able to refresh it with just blotting and using a little bit of powder. It doesn't feel like foundation that needs to come off of my face right now. Like sometimes when I do these videos, I feel like it's time for the foundation to be removed once I've reached this point in the day. This time it still feels very lightweight, still feels fresh. It doesn't feel disgusting and it doesn't look disgusting. I'm just noticing this little line seems to be standing out more. Otherwise, this seems like a really good option for someone with mature skin who doesn't want to wear heavy foundation and wants something that looks very skin-like and very natural. If you're younger, like people who have really perfect skin already, and you don't need a whole lot of help. If you just need something that sort of perfects the skin but doesn't cover the skin, that seems like this type of foundation. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm gonna zoom in really quickly too, guys. So I just zoomed in a little bit so that you guys could take a closer look at this point in the night. Again, very skin-like, and it didn't break apart. It wore off a little bit in my chin area, but I did eat lunch and dinner. So, you know how that goes. I felt like it wore off a little bit on my nose, but that looks okay as well. It's lasted pretty well overall. I just wonder about like the little smile lines. As I said, this is probably not the foundation I would reach for if I wanted really full coverage. Like if I wanted full coverage and wanted to see everything covered that was down in this area, I would probably reach for something else. So if you're looking for medium coverage, lightweight foundation that will wear for quite a long time, then this is a good one. It's actually New Year's Eve. You probably noticed it when I showed you guys the time on my phone. I have not decided on my New Year's resolution, but I'm leaning towards good health and prosperity. There's so many things that I could probably do better in 2023. I wish all of you a happy new year, and I hope that you get what you wish for in 2023. All right, guys, I'm gonna say what I always say. This is a first impression. Even though I'm noticing a few things on my face, I will try this foundation with other primers, other powders, other temperatures. You know, today, as I said, it was a rainy day. Other situations. All of the things that I'm pointing out to you that I'm being kind of nitpicky about may not even exist as I continue to wear this and try it with other products. Whether you're watching my review or someone else's review, if it's the first time the person is wearing the foundation, you may just want to take it with a grain of salt and know that their opinion could change as they continue to wear it. One word of advice that I would say is if you do have a Sephora in your area and you can go in store to try the foundation, to do that so that you can get the proper shade match, and you can also ask for a sample and they'll give you enough for you to try it for 2 or 3 days, and might even last you longer than that. So you can get a sample and you can wear it over several days to decide whether or not it's something that you want to purchase versus just going in and buying it. I purchased this so that I could review it for you guys, but that's just always my recommendation to you is if you're able to get a sample, see if you like it before going through the trouble of purchasing and then returning, or worse, keeping it because you don't want to go back in to return it and you're stuck with something that you don't like. When I look at my skin right now, in some places it just looks wonderful, but it's the chin area that's bothering me a little bit. So there you have it. That's my review of this foundation after a full day wear test. If I have any updates for you guys after I post this video, I will write them down in the description box. And of course, if you have questions for me, be sure to ask those in the comments and I will definitely respond to you. So thank you all for joining me for today's video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will respond. And if you've not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button before you leave. So I'll be seeing you guys again very soon in my next video. So until the next time we meet again, this is Savvy signing out.